From the deepest reaches of the interwebs are two guys here to reveal the secret sauce in helping you develop multiple streams of internet cash flow. Share the knowledge without all the hype. It's the Internet Income Show.
Oh, I like that.
Now get ready for two regular dudes helping you become a smarter entrepreneur, get more out of life, and set you on the right path to becoming happily unemployable. Your host, Dr. Mike and Eric Louviere.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Mike doing this solo. Welcome to the Internet Income Show. So you're probably wondering, where is Eric? Well, thanks to technology and what we were using to record the show crashed on us a few days ago, and that's just words. If you do podcasting or do any type of recording, actually it was a great show that we put together, and the whole thing just crashed and nothing got saved. So that was a bummer. But fear not, I am recording this, and the other thing is why Eric isn't here is he's having a baby. Well, he himself isn't. If that's the truth, that would be even more remarkable news. His wife and are having a baby, and by the time you're probably listening to this, they probably already had one. So I think that's a pretty valid excuse. So I'm going to be doing this solo. So for all you Eric Louviere fans, you can shut this off right now. But I'm going to talk about niche marketing. I'm going to be talking about niche marketing fundamentals this week. And I'm going to also try to piece together what Eric had said and get his input into it as well. And one of the number one question I've been getting in my over a decade of teaching internet marketing and consulting with business owners is, what niche can I go into? And that's a big topic. That's a big question to ask anybody who's going involved in internet marketing, is what niche to get into. For me, I found it rather easy. My background is a physician, so one of the first successes I had was in marketing health products. Now, I want to first backtrack a little bit, because when I'm talking about niche marketing, I'm specifically focusing on information. And the reason why I'm doing that is, there are, you could sell physical products, and, there are physical products that I've sold, and, one of the questions, or one of the key steps that I look into when I'm thinking about internet marketing and niche marketing in particular is, am I passionate about a market? You've heard that all before. Well, I know people who've been successful in building internet businesses selling rope, or selling ladders. You may not be very passionate about that, but you might actually do rather well. So I'm particularly focusing on information on there. We'll probably talk about physical product. That's something I've been getting into big in 2014, on a later call. But I specifically want to focus on niche information marketing. So, the first fundamental in niche marketing is, are you passionate about that subject? Are you, especially if you're a beginner? I know there are some seasoned internet marketers who listen to these calls, and, you can get into markets, and, I'm just amazed at, some of my peers and colleagues that get into markets, they go really, really big into that market. And, they can go ahead and do that. A friend of mine, Frank Kern, some of you know, most of you do know, probably the biggest marketer in our industry, went into the dating market when he himself at the time was married. So, if you're a really good internet marketer, you can go into those markets and understand the market and how to do that. But if you've never done this before, it's rather difficult. And so you need to be passionate about the subject. And taking that a step further, you need to understand, what are the problems that people in that market are going through. So when I was going into health marketing, I sold a series of information products related to health. I because I know what, for example, in the markets I'm in is the diabetic market, so I understood what diabetics were going through, what was keeping them up at night. So I was able to go into those markets pretty easily. So whatever that is for you, what are you, passionate about that? What are and the reason why is because you can speak their language. When I sell to a certain demographic, I understand the language that needs to, that they understand. So, for example, I have services that I sell to doctors, so I understand the market because I'm a doctor. So I understand, we use certain language and certain situations that people understand that, when people get frustrated. So I'm able to, when I write copy, I'm able to, delineate those, and it really feels like, you're really talking to me. For somebody who, is in weight loss, and they've struggled with their weight for long periods of time, when you write copy for that, or you're going to market to that market, you understand, what are the trials, because you personally have gone through that. Now, an adjunct to that is, if you're not that passionate about it, you really have to research and you really have to understand. So that's why, if you're a beginner to this, it's a lot easier because you yourself have gone through it, or perhaps know somebody who got through it. I really feel, though, it is really someone that you know, or a close family member or a close friend, that to understand that market. And whoever is going through that can relay that to you and go into that market. Number 2 is, are people currently buying products in that niche market? Are people buying products in that market? You may be passionate about, you may be passionate about cleaning your ears. I don't know why I thought about that. But, if other people aren't as passionate about that and nobody's buying products on that, that might not be a great market. Probably not the best example on there. You may be passionate about watching Miley Cyrus videos, and if you are, God help you. But there may not be a market in that particular market under. So there's got to be people buying that market. So people say, well, I don't want to go to the weight loss market. It's not a, and I would argue that's not really a niche. That's really an industry. But people have been buying products, and they'll continue to buy product. 30 years from now, people are still going to be wanting to lose weight. They're still going to be trying to improve themselves. What they sold 30, 40 years ago, right, was how to lose weight. So that's what we call an evergreen market. It's always going to be there. It's always going to, it'll always be present. It's okay to go into trends and, following trends. Somebody recently talked to me. They want to get into the Bitcoin market, and they've got a book on, how to get into Bitcoin. And that may be good, and they maybe sell a ton of it, and I hope they do this year. But, who knows if that's going to be around 20 or 30 years to come, 30 years from now. So trends are okay. You can go to sites like Google Trends, so you can follow a trend and see how it's going. But I like to see something that's going up in the upswing, when you're doing it. I also like seeing something that will stand the test of time. Okay, so the third fundamental that you want to look at is, who are the experts in the market? Are there experts or gurus in that market? Again, it kind of follows what we said about, are there products being sold on the internet? Usually when they're products being sold, they're gurus or thought leaders, which I guess is the politically correct term, in that market. Are there people who you can be the person in that market? For example, real estate, you'll think of Donald Trump, Carlton Sheets. Weight loss, you'll think of, for those older, Jane Fonda, but Richard Simmons, Jenny Craig. Exercise, weight loss, Jillian Michaels. There are people in that area that, you may not even think about it, but maybe you come to a point where you can approach those type of people. it is a lot easier if there's a figurehead in that market. But if there isn't, then you can form your own and be the thought leader. So there's actually, it's not necessarily the case. I believe it's easier when there is, a guru or so in that market, but perhaps there's something in that market where they're not covering or they are missing out on, and that might be a good opportunity for you to look in there. Usually, in terms of gurus, are there millionaires in that market? Are there people making a lot of money? Goes along with selling products. It's a lot easier to get into a space where there's already money being transacted. And then finally, is there money being transacted on the internet? In particular, information products. Are there, information being sold? What often people find is they want to create, an information product on a certain topic, but then they find out that maybe information isn't the right way that this is being sold. Just trying to think of an example. For let's say you want to create a product on let's say, we'll just use insomnia, example. And I know that there are some books on insomnia, but in general, most people who are looking for, how to, how to get better sleep are looking for a supplement or something that they can take so they can fall asleep. They may not want to read necessarily on it. And again, just giving you a quick example, and I know that there are books on that, but something that they want something right away, they may be looking for something that may not be necessarily information based. They may not want to read about it. They may just want something to actually take care of the problem right away. So there are actually more products being sold than just information products, and that's something that you need to consider. Again, it's a lot easier if there's money being made in information products, and you've been the only one in that particular space selling information there. So those are my fundamentals of going into a niche market. I think one thing that Eric had mentioned was when he was looking for and helping a client look for particular niches, he would go and actually look at businesses that are being, are selling into that business, that's selling into that niche. And he's going into, he mentioned a site called Buy Biz Sell or Buy Sell Biz or one of those. I'll put the link on the website, and blatant promotion here. You can find past podcast recordings at Internet Income Show. I believe it's Biz Buy Sell or Buy Biz Sell, something like that. I haven't been there in a while. And actually just searching through the different businesses for what are being sold. Similar site like that is called Flippa, FLIPPA.com, where you can find businesses. Got to kind of be careful on there. Some of the business out there are not legit, and they're just doing it for a quick turnaround, creating a site and putting in some screenshots and then flipping it. But there are some sites that are, legitimate business that have been around for years, and they want to sell it. So you can have an idea, what kinds of products are being sold, and if people are making money in those. I like going to bigger traditional businesses, and you can go to a site like the Inc. 500 or the Inc. 5000, which put together by Inc. Magazine, and you can see in those particular industries, how much do that business generate. I've gotten some ideas just because I see some of these companies are making millions of dollars in something that I didn't think that'd be a market for. So there's already businesses, websites that you can go to, resources that you can identify niche marketing. We've also mentioned other resources. I'm sure everybody knows about Amazon, right? Well, you can search for, I search for, in terms of information products, I search for books. So I look on Amazon and I go into the different categories like health and wellness, career, and hobbies, cooking, and then you see what are the types of books that are currently hot or being sold. You can sort it by popularity. You can see what the general ranking is. If it's less than 10,000 terms of ranking, that's a very popular market. So the people are buying those, right? They're going to Amazon because they're buying. Books are just information products. Another way of looking at it, right? You can go on eBay, same thing. You can see what type of products. You can find, old home study courses. You can find those on eBay. You can see what people are selling on there. You can go to, Eric brought up Dummies, the Dummies books, dummies.com, and you can see, what are the types of topics that are being covered on there. Those are physical books or, digital books that people are buying. They're looking up a particular topic. So those are some resources that you could do to start searching for. ClickBank, of course. ClickBank.com. You can go into the marketplace and you can search by the different categories. For health, you'll see a lot of weight loss. You'll see a lot of sexual health areas that might be more conducive on the internet. So that's something that you can look in as well for your resources. So a lot of different areas and resources that you can go to start generating niches. One thing that I did want to mention in terms of niche marketing that I feel is pretty important is don't be afraid to actually go there and put up your searching and get your product out there. People are seem to be really hesitant and scared to get into a niche. I'll relay a story. I had a client, and he was in my coaching club. The coaching club at the time was $10,000 to get in, $10,000, and part of it was I would help you with your niche and put together a product. So I had a guy, nice guy. He got into this, and I consulted with him, and we went over 3 niches that we narrowed it down from a list to 3 that I felt we both felt that matched those 4 key indicators for niche marketing. And he was excited, he was ready to go, and our calls were monthly. I called him up like the next month, and I said, okay, can you tell me how it's going? What the niche is? He said, well, I still need to think about it. I still need to pray on it. Call me next month. I did next month. He says, you know what? I think I've narrowed it down, but I'm still. This is good, or this. But then I think about this niche, and then give me a call back next month, Dr. Buck, I'll get in. And that went on for about 6 months. And then literally I said, you know what? I feel bad because I'm not helping you, and I don't know what else to do if we can't narrow this down. And I really had to put his feet to the fire here. And what I understood was that is people feel like there was some making the wrong decision. And as an entrepreneur, you have to be risk averse, and it's not like you're going to get stuck in that niche. One of the if you listen to a previous podcast, one of the niches that I was into when I first got started was locating GPS systems, helping your children, and it was a product that I was promoting, and it completely bombed. But you know what? I just learned from it, and then I moved on and went into a different market. And so don't be afraid. There's no one, internet is going to internet police is going to come and say, you chose the wrong niche. You are banished from the internet for 5 years. It's not going to happen, right? You need to just go with a niche. Understand kind of the fundamentals of what we discussed in terms of identifying a niche. The other thing too is, and this is what it comes to with information is, another question we get is, all this information, it's already out there on the internet. I can't even make money on that. Well, here's the thing is that most people, for most niches, I can probably find that. I'm pretty savvy at internet search. I can probably find information, but there's always something out there, that could be a benefit to one another. I gave an example. I went through medical school for 4 years. I bet I can find all the information I learned in medical school somewhere on the internet. Yet, medical school costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to go into. right? So, you are, for, I forgot what the one, there's a company that works at Harvard, and they're putting um, all the information, educational, syllabus and everything like that on the internet that anybody can take. You can actually take classes for free, on the internet. Don't let that stop you. If you can put together something that, is your own, you put it together and people want it, and you can give them quick access to this, people will pay for that information. It's not just that the information is there; it's because you put in information that people will, easily get at it, and want, that information. I had a friend of mine who's a big time guru. He says, a lot of the information that I sell, he sells these like expensive seminars. Some of the seminars that he puts together, thousands of dollars. I've gone through a lot of that information. I've actually gone through and made available on, different ebooks and podcasts that I've done and recordings that they get access to, but they're paying for the price to actually me being there, so I can charge these type of prices on there. But don't be afraid. People say, "Oh, everything's on the internet." Well, I think Amazon made $1 gazillion last year. Don't go on there, right? A lot of them, when they sold a lot of books, a lot of those books have information that's publicly available. Yet, how come they're still making money with information on there? If it's something that people want and they can use it, somebody will pay you for that. So when you're looking for potential information products, when you're, spying on your competition, so to speak, you want to look for certain forms of information products. I generally like seeing things in the high end. I don't want to just find, ebooks on Kindle and things like that. I look to see for, home study courses. Are there home study courses that are at least $100 in that market? Are there conferences, that cost thousands of dollars, in that market? Are there workshops? Are there audio programs? Are there DVDs, in there? You can use things like on Amazon and look into conferences, do searching for conferences in that particular market. What are the topics being covered? Those are the types of information products you want to search for. Again, using Google, you can use Amazon, you can use eBay, and, start looking for things. Look in, sometimes you go into Craigslist and look in the events section, or, look in Eventbrite and seeing what types of topics are being covered. Are people being paying for these conferences? We don't often think of conferences and information products, but again, it's a place where, if you can imagine going into a market, people are, leaving the safety of their homes, getting into a car, getting on a bus or plane and traveling to a conference, paying money for the hotel. If that's information that people are doing, then that's important, and that's something that you want to start looking into. You want to look at paid advertising. Are these products being advertised on Google AdWords or on Facebook advertising? Go into your particular markets when you're spying on your competition. Are they building a newsletter? Are they creating an opt-in box, an opt-in report, free report? And what's the product being covered? If you're going in and you think that, this market's great, but all they're giving is free information, and you may not, you want to look in to see what is in the back end, what is being sold on there. So for any market you do, you got to do your due diligence. You got to look. You got to do competitive research. You got to see what is available. So one of the things that I do is I'll put together like a spreadsheet. I'll write down a list of products. I'll see what the price point is of the products. I'll point where they were found. What type of information product is it? Is it a DVD, a CD, a home study course, a workshop, a conference? Who are the leaders in that market? And then you want to keep that Excel spreadsheet, and then do as much research as you can. And and sometimes I still refer to that sheet. I call it a competitive niche research sheet, and I'll like, oh yeah, that person was doing this type of product. That's something I may want to look into as well. Or, hey, they're covering this, but I see that they're actually missing this. Is that an opportunity, or maybe there just isn't money in that particular market? You also want to look into, your audience. Do you have audience who are, buyers? That what type of buyer are they $10 Kindle ebook buyer, or are they a $100,000 buyer? That's the type of market. If you're looking to build your empire, or internet business empire, you want to look at aspects like that. So those are some things that I would look into when you're looking at and thinking about competitive research. So those are some topics that I feel, in niche marketing. I think the bottom line is don't be afraid. Identify what people want. What are things that are keeping them up at night? Use resources like Amazon, like ClickBank. A lot of it isn't rocket science on there. You already see people who are already making money with information. You might as well do it yourself, right? And make it on your own, building up your list. Even if you yourself aren't an expert, you can find somebody who is, or you can present. You can go with that market. So, Larry King. Most people here won't think Larry King is an expert on anything except for interviewing, right? But he brings together experts in those fields. He brings those people in. Oprah, brings, experts in health and wellness and spirituality, experts into those fields. But everybody goes to Oprah because that's who she goes to. So you can actually think of, building your list is, you're not going to know just everything. You can identify thought leaders into your niche market, and then bring that to your audience. So that's niche marketing fundamentals, guys. Hope you liked it. I love bringing these podcasts. If you missed any of this, go to internet. Well, obviously you wouldn't. I don't know what I'm saying there, but if you missed any previous podcasts, you can go to InternetIncomeShow.com. And next time, we're going to hopefully get Eric back. Hopefully everything is well. And for another exciting and educational and profit-making for you podcast. So, this is Dr. Mike for Eric. Thanks for listening. See you guys soon.
You just listened to the Internet Income Show with Dr. Mike and Eric. Now, get to work.